it's not about how much you make, it's about how much you keep.
Mm.
And I honestly say that because a lot of women struggle with the financial education.
Hello and welcome everyone to Her Money Club Stories. My name is Raechelle Minney and I am the founder of Her Money Club. Today we have Jessica Narweh with us and she is going to share some amazing juiciness around aligning money strategy, money mindset, and these beautiful discussions that we're having are really for the intention of you leveling up with money, understanding where you get to go next, allowing you to really have the permission to overcome various challenges related to money and life and the journey that unfolds. So with that, I do want to have Jessica share just a little bit of who you are, where you're from, and what you are up to in the world.
Thank you so much. That's such a lovely introduction you gave me. So my name is Jessica Narweh. I am a money mindset coach by lunchtime and evenings, because you have to make it work when you're working a 9 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I am a tax accountant by day. So I do not only UK tax, but I do US tax, and that kind of gives away where I'm from. I am from the UK. I'm currently living in London. And I'm loving it here. I've met so many incredible people that are willing to change their lives through, understanding more about money. So what's different about me as a money mindset coach, I don't just come from, shifting your mindset to actually make more money, but as a tax accountant, I also integrate, you got to keep the money too. It's all well and good trying to make as much money as you want. But as a tax accountant, I come from the side that, it's good to make more money, but it's also good to keep and preserve what you have. So I use tax efficient strategies like planning with my clients as well.
That is beautiful. I love that you brought that up. And I'd love to hear more about even how you kind of shifted more into the money coaching. I imagine it's a pretty easy shift, but for you specifically, what really enticed you to go down that path?
So me, it's a bit of a weird one. It didn't actually start with money mindset. It actually started with property investing. So what happened was I was in uni, and unfortunately, during my first year of university, I actually fell ill and ended up in hospital. So that's really where everything started from me, because they tried to kick me out of university. So that's when I said, nope, I can't let my life be in someone else's hands just because I'm ill. They said that I can't be there. And I said, do you know what? This is going to be a pattern going forward. I learned it at such an early age. And even in the corporate world now, I can see how having your life in someone else's hands, it's not worth it. Honestly, guys, it's really not worth it. So what I basically did was start up. Well, actually, no, I read Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. That was the first ever self-development book I read in the hospital, because I was so bored. I didn't know what to do with myself. So I started reading loads of self-development books. So that was the first one I read. And then that's when I really decided, you know what, I'm going to try and start up a property investing company. So that's literally what I did. So I had 2 Airbnbs at the time. Now I have more than that. And I just thought the whole property industry was a scam, because honestly, I felt like, why is everybody making this magical 10K months and I'm here stuck at the 2K month mark, which coincidentally or not so coincidentally was actually my corporate pay at the time, which, we'll get more into that later. So that was basically one of my limiting beliefs, that I couldn't make more than £2,000 a month, which is why I was always stuck. So that's when I started really going to understand about money mindset, about meditations, hypnosis. And that's really when I was able to literally triple my income the next month, simply by shifting my mindset. I didn't change anything else in my property business. I literally just shifted my mindset, and that's how we got to that. So that's why I started teaching women, service-based entrepreneurs, how to basically shift their mindset to make more money. So yeah, that's basically how I got started.
That's so beautiful. And I want to dig into that because for a lot of us, there is that shift point. There's like this one big decision we have to make in order to shift. And I know for me, and it sounds like our stories are similar, and I also had an illness and it required me to stop the overwhelm and burnout that I was putting myself through and really pivot into like, what do you really want for your life, Raechelle? And what do you want that to look like, and how could I be in control of that? So what was that like one big decision for you from your past that was specific to relating to money, like you mentioned specifically jumping from the 2K to the 6K, was there one ritual or thing or tool or technique that helped with that pivotal point?
Yeah, it was definitely hypnosis. So my current coach now, she talked to me about basically doing a hypnosis, because the hypnosis wasn't actually about money, it was about confidence, funny
Yep.
enough.
Mm-hmm.
So the hypnosis was nothing about manifesting money, it was
Yeah.
literally about confidence. That was where I was struggling. So a lot of people think that if you can't actually manifest money, it's something to do with the actual money, but more than likely there's an underlying factor, and for me that underlying factor was confidence. I wasn't confident in myself, I wasn't confident in my abilities, which led me to basically just struggle. And it's only when I started to gain more confidence, when I started putting myself out there, I just didn't care what people thought about me anymore. That's when I saw the real shift in my life. So that was really the pivotal moment for me.
That is so incredible. I recently experienced and was trained through NLP and hypnosis, and
Mm,
I agree 100%. Like the ability to utilize that as a tool to dig into like the unconscious parts of you that you just don't know what's going on underneath the surface,
literally.
and really reprogram some of that, whether it's confidence or worthiness or, whatever that thing is so powerful. It is magic in this sense. Like you do wake up the next day and it's like, okay, cool.
Literally.
I got the confidence. I'm going to do the thing. I'm a now like a done person. I'm going to get it done versus like the worry and what are people going to think of me, and just kind of overwhelming what if scenarios keep popping up into your mind. So, that is so beautiful. I couldn't have said it better
That
myself. Thank you for
Yeah, and
sharing.
it's weird because it wasn't only just confidence in me speaking, it was confidence in I started going to the gym more. So literally I became such a well-rounded person. And I'm so grateful that I met her, honestly, because
Mhm.
just knowing that all I needed to do was start with confidence to do anything I wanted. That's literally all I needed.
Yeah. Yeah. And you already had it within you. Like that's the
Yeah.
most powerful part is we're already whole. So the moment we begin treating ourselves as integrated and whole and experiencing life from that lens, that's where it's like, oh yeah, I already have this confidence thing that I wasn't, 100% certain about. So, oh, that's so beautiful. I love it. How do you feel like since then your money journey has unfolded lately? How has it progressed?
Oh, it's been amazing. So when I tell you money has literally been flying from different sources, you think I'm joking. I'm honestly not joking. So I remember the first time, I think it was November 2020. I made a really scary investment in my coach. And that tends to be the thing. When you make those scary
Yep.
investments, things just start to shift. So that very month, I somehow I manifested, what's it called? Like, obviously, I told you about my property, and Airbnb gave me a refund randomly of
Mm.
over £1,700. I was thinking, what is this for? Obviously, I'm not one to question it.
Right.
I'll
Yep.
take
Thank
it.
you. I received.
I'll take it. But I was like, how is this happening? Obviously, at
Yeah,
that time, I was trying to manifest 1,500 just to see if this manifesting thing works.
totally.
And it did. And it came from a source that I completely did not even think it would come from. So I thought, you know what? Let me
Mm.
try something else. Guess what? My work gave me a promotion. Was I
Mm.
expecting it? No. And then I thought, you know what? Let me try something else. Christmas bonus. Was I expecting it? No. I was like, this up. Then I was at like, oh my gosh, is this really happening? Like, you wouldn't think, people think, when you want to make more money, you need to get like a side hustle. Literally, my job was giving me more money for what, like, I had no reason.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
had no
That's
reason.
beautiful.
Literally. So yeah, that's basically every single month I've somehow received money from a different source, like a random source,
Mm.
like be it a refund for like
Hmm.
a bill, like a phone bill. It's just so random. So yeah,
Hmm.
it's great.
Love it. Oh my gosh. I love it. It's so amazing. Um, I'm going to pivot into a different kind of question here because I think
Yeah.
it's really important to address this question for everyone because it runs true for everyone, but we don't talk about it enough.
Mm.
And the question is, what is one thing that scares you about money or used to really scare you about money?
For me, it's the fear of, making a lot of money and losing it.
Mhm.
That was one, and also debt. They were my two major ones. And I realized that I have a relationship with food due to my dad. So my dad is from Ghana. So he came to this country in the, I think it was 80s. He came into the country in the 80s. And I always remember him telling me a story about Christmas Day when he was all alone. Obviously, he didn't know the culture in this country yet. He didn't know the shops were closed. It was snowing. He used to live in Cornwall, which is quite, far down south in the UK. And he literally starved for that day. So now the household that I live in, he's always given us food because he doesn't ever want us to feel that same pain that he felt. And that's where I got my fear of, running out of food or running out of money from. And what I realized with a lot of my clients is that food and money, they're correlated, whether you know or not, they are. Your relationship with food also basically it affects your relationship with money as well. So those two are related. And that's what I realized with myself. That's why I'm scared to lose it all, basically. So I want to make it, but I'm scared to lose it. And that's where it came from.
Yep. Oh, that's so true. And there's a large sense of the population that kind of plays the game of life in general, playing not to lose, right? And there's this kind of theme, underlying current of let me just do enough to play not to lose versus how can we play all in 100% with certainty to play to win, right? To really move past just having enough and create the more than enough. And a vision that I have for especially all of women is to be able to confidently say, I am a wealthy woman, and to use those words, wealth and woman, and I am all collectively together without cringing about it or feeling some type of way about it. And I just love that you are helping women specifically with that food and money connection. I've also seen it with relationships and money connection. So, everything in life is connected, but there are some really distinct security connections between food and money, and then a few layers up, relationships and money connections as you continue to develop that wealth mindset and state of mind. So, such a good fear to bring up and recognize and bring awareness because it's real. And, it's not necessarily even, I'm curious to know your thoughts on this. For me, it's like not something that goes away, but it's something that the more awareness, we share and talk about it, the less resounding it is in like my own mind.
Yeah, and I totally agree with that. Like when I have a limiting belief now, I literally just say out loud, I'm not useful. Like I just don't want to hear it. I just block it out. I acknowledge it because you need to acknowledge it. You need to become aware of your thoughts. But I simply say not useful because I don't want that to be my future. I don't want that to be my destiny. So that's what I do now.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's beautiful. Thank you. If you were to share, so opposite direction, if you were to share one thing with every woman in the world, whether that's a ritual or some sort of tool or way of being, what is one thing you figured out that you would want to share with every woman in the world related to money?
Oh, that's a very good question. Okay, yeah, I absolutely know what it is. It's not about how much you make, it's about how much you keep. And I honestly say that because a lot of women struggle with the financial education. And it's not our fault. We weren't brought up, it's from generations. We weren't brought up to be the money makers. We weren't brought up to be the breadwinners. We weren't brought up to be investors. We were brought up to be housewives. We were brought up to be mothers. We were brought up basically to look after our family. So our financial education is not where it should be. And that's why it's also my mission. And that's also the reason I didn't actually quit my job, because I could have quit ages ago. But I work with high net worth US and UK individuals. So I want to learn from the source. I want to learn from those making minimum 500K a year. So that's basically why I stayed with understanding more about tax, more about investing, more about how I can not only make more money, but keep my money. So I think it's crucial for every woman in the world to get a financial education, because I feel like when wealth is in the hands of women, we can do amazing things because we are natural caregivers. We will naturally give to causes that we care for. So that is really my mission, just to, as a tax accountant, as a money mindset coach, just to help more women to become financially educated so they can start giving more to their families, their generations below them. So that's really my mission.
Me and you both, girl. Like the ability to have women step into their wealth building journey is where impact happens. And that's something I've always said is like when we focus on the impact we can create in the world, that is in tune to being wealthy and creating that state of being within our own like bodies. But that's where the world changes, right? When we actually own that responsibility and own that financial education and be responsible for that, that's where the most massive caretaking occurs with the world around us. So I love all of that, and I love that we're so aligned in that, and
Yeah.
just supporting women on that journey and that process. Two questions, and then we'll kind of wrap it up. So one question, because I know you mentioned a book. So I'm an avid reader. Is there one particular book, maybe on the beginner level, that you would recommend to women to read for their financial education?
For financial education, I would definitely say Rich Dad Poor Dad. That is really what got me started. It talks about the quadrants, what different quadrants you fall into. So you have your earned income, you have your passive income, you have, your business and so on. So I think for financial education, that is definitely the go-to, the first book you should ever read, because it kind of gives you like an overview of everything, the types of incomes you can make. And for the money mindset point of view, Denise Duffield Thomas, Get Rich Lucky Bitch.
Yeah, love it. Very good. Awesome. And last but not least, what projects are you working on now and where can people find you?
Absolutely. So I'm actually working on a money mastery challenge, which runs every quarter, but I'm actually going to run one from August the 2nd to August the 9th. And the replays of that will all be in my Facebook group. So you can find me or at Jessica Narweh on all social medias, like it's literally all the same. So I like to keep it simple. So, but I primarily use Instagram. I'm not really a Facebook person. I'm trying. We'll get there one day, but
Yep,
I'm
I
more of
get
an
it.
Instagram girl. YouTube as well is the same. So you can literally find me everywhere on the same app. And I will be having another mastery challenge, more about money mindset, financial education, how to really plan for your future, not only make money, but also keep your money, sometime October, November time. So I will look forward to seeing loads of you there.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jessica. And I appreciate your time today. It's
Oh,
been
you're so welcome.
amazing listening to your journey and sharing that with others. So thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been amazing.